And Jumriapsu, everyone. Thank you for joining our last podcast of the year. This is Aisha, and together with me is Mr. Kuntak Chit, the founder of Zoom's Design. Mr. Chit, how are you today?
Um, let's say not that quite good because like end of the year, and we have to wrap it up, be prepared for the holidays. Tomorrow is a countdown day, so I'm excited as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for the year to end, and yeah, I'm excited for another holiday. I just want to go to like the zoo or something. Yeah, but anyway, I'm sure we are all tired of 2020 and all the COVID and lockdowns and travel bans. But let's not forget to do the most important thing, which is to review the year. And that's our topic for today. So we will be guiding you on steps you can take to review the year for your business. And today's podcast will be a little more lighthearted and personal because we will talk more about Zoom's design journey in 2020, how we overcome our challenges and how we persevered. So since this topic is about Zoom's design and I noticed that we have some maybe new listeners to our podcast, could we get Mr. Chit to talk a little bit more about the company and what we do at Zooms? Mr. Chit, the stage is yours.
Okay, thanks, Shoes. Zoom Design is a platform for a customer, for a user who can submit the graphic design works, both digital and print advertisements. So, if you need an external design team to support on your graphic design needs, you can come to our website and sign up to be one of our users. And you can submit by our task management system, so like you can drop many tasks as many as possible, so like those related to print and digital advertisements, such as poster, flyer, banner, all related to the advertisement, you can submit it to, so your dedicated designer will reply and work on your task. So this is what we are doing at Zoom Designs.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Chi. That's a wonderful summary of Zoom's design. If your company needs any help with graphic design ads, be it print or online, you can outsource them to us. So now let's go back to the podcast. I can't believe that 2020 is ending. Like, sometimes I just feel like I haven't done much other than adapting to the new normal. Like, for me, like I have signed up for so many like online courses, online conferences. Like I want to learn as much as I can from everywhere around the world, but then Zoom fatigue is real, and I'm guilty of being that one person who signs up for an online event but then I don't go for it.
Oh,
Yeah, like I sign up for everything but like sometimes I never go. But anyway, so since a lot of things happened this year, especially COVID, let's play a little game of bingo to break the ice.
yeah, good. I excited.
Yeah, okay. So what I have here is a 2020 bingo card that I found online. And what we will be doing is that I'll ask you some yes or no questions.
Okay.
There'll be there's 20 boxes, but we're not going to go through all of them. I will try to annotate it on the bingo card.
Yeah.
Yeah, using Zoom. So you can maybe share stories also if you have interesting ones, okay? And I'll ask random questions until we have formed a line. So,
Okay.
Mr. Shit, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so the first question I want to ask is, have you had to cancel business trips before because of COVID this year?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Like where were you headed to?
I was like about to go to Singapore as well.
Oh, you were about to go to.
Actually, like we about to have some exhibition there and show
Right.
off our Zoom design there, and but they have to cancel the event, so it's a bit like kind of sad, but
Yeah.
okay, like we pass over it.
Right. Yeah. I would have like met you in person. Yeah. Okay. So next one. Have you gotten paranoid when you fell sick?
Of course, it is. I got that twice. Like the
Oh,
first one, like
really?
when COVID-19 just came to us, and then like I kind of sick. Like because of cold.
Uh-huh.
I kind of frightened and paranoid, and I keep asking people surround me and say that is it I'm getting COVID, and I try to research on Google as well,
Yeah.
and checking if there are any COVID-19 symptoms that I might like get it, and quite scared. I drink a lot of water, like hot waters, and that's very bad. That was very bad.
Right. In Singapore, like, there was this panic buying. Like everyone went to the market when the whole COVID happened. So they just bought a lot of toilet papers, and yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it's just a Singapore thing. But yeah. Okay. Can you see my
Yeah, it's everywhere actually. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. It's everywhere. It's rampant. Yeah. Okay, let's see. The next one, something interesting. Have you learned something new this year?
Yes, I have learned a lot of new things this year as well, and let's say thanks you to COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I tried learning like Russian this year.
Oh, how is it?
It's very hard. Yeah, all I can say is привет.
But why you try to learn Russians?
It's something extremely random. I just saw like an advertisement and I was like, okay, I just want to learn something new since it's COVID and I'm in a lockdown, It was the most random thing I've done this year. Yeah. Okay, the next one. Have you learned how to use Zoom? I mean, okay, this is like obvious.
It's very obvious, of course. I know Zoom.
Yeah.
Before I created Zoom, I know Zoom not before, like after I created Zoom's designs, and and then because of COVID, and we tried to learn how to use Zoom because it's very useful as well. So
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, just a fun fact, right? Like Mr. Chit actually subscribed to Zoom like for our podcast. So you see how amazing his effort is, his dedication and all. Okay, let's see. Have you worn a business top but then you wore house pants, like pajama pants?
that happened to me twice.
Twice.
Because like I was invited to one of the meeting, very formal meeting
Uh-huh.
in the morning. They hosted by Zoom,
Oh, yeah.
and then like everyone asking to wear very formal clothes,
Right.
and then like I got lazy. Oh sorry, I got lazy, so I just wear a jacket and like a formal top, and
Uh-huh.
then for my pant, it's just like like a pajamas pant.
Yeah.
And every time I get up, I have to unmute. I have to mute my video as well to avoid. But it's very fun experience.
Just under forgot to unmute yourself so that covers attended meetings in pajamas. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people do that. I mean, I do that for my school. I just was just in pajamas the whole day.
Let's say that we all are lazy person.
Yeah, we all are lazy because of
People.
yeah. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about maybe technical problems. Have you had Wi-Fi problems or technical difficulties?
Well, of course it is like yes, I had.
Right. I think this is very normal. Everyone had to adapt to the new normal. Let's see. We are almost done with the third column. Okay. Have you pretended that something was a technical difficulty?
Just to say to our audience here, like when we had a delay on our live, we always say sorry for the delay because of technical problems. Let's first, like have a third episode. So of course, even we have the like a meeting. We host a meeting with our clients, and then like our sales rep they running late, and then they only one thing they got the excuse is like sorry have technical problem, and that's the most popular excuse for 2020. I think.
That's so true.
I use this a lot. Sorry.
Yeah, we just blame it on the technical difficulty, even though it was not a technical difficulty.
and right and no one asking why or what happened.
Yeah.
No one asking it, so we are safe.
Yeah. Like when I was having school and it was like online, whenever my professor asked me a difficult question, I just disconnected my Wi-Fi and So I will leave the
Oh
room,
my god.
and then I will come back and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, there was a technical
No problem. Yeah.
life hacks, guys. Yeah. All right. So we've had one line of bingo, but yeah, I honestly think that we would tick everything uh, bingo. But yeah, maybe that would be a nice activity you can do with your friends or whoever. Yeah. So let me try to erase all this. Yeah, and we can move to the next slide. Okay. So next, let's go back to our main topic of the day, steps you can take to review the year for your small business. Like I said, it's quite easy, to dismiss 2020 because it might be uneventful for some of us. But it is very important that every business owner review what went wrong and what went right this year. So, just a disclaimer that the steps listed here are non-exhaustive. There are definitely more ways for you to do your year-end review as a small entrepreneur, and we're just laying down just the basics, while at the same time sharing our personal review of the year here at Zoom's Design.
Right.
So yeah, Mr. Chi, do you have anything to add on? If not, we can.
Yes. Like these two episodes. I mean, like we talk a lot. Like even in our second episode as well, we talk a lot about like year end kind of your reviewing, wrapping it up.
Yeah.
And actually we can't talk it enough, like because there's a lot of things to talk about when we coming to wrapping up our 2020, and to know what to do next, especially with like marketing kind of industry, and as well as the whole business as the whole. So like a lot of things that we can talk about. So I hope that maybe this is the last episode that we talking about wrapping out 2020,
Mhm.
and then we can move on to the next episode with like more refreshings and like more ideas as
Right.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like with the end of 2020 just around the corner, I think also a lot of business owners have started to plan for 2021 already. But then, like I think it's still important to review 2020, because to know where you're going, it's important to check where you've been this year and where you are at right now.
Mm,
I think it's just human nature, to just plan ahead, but it's more important to evaluate the past. This is where year-end reviews become very important, because like it allows business owners to start the new year by coming up with solutions to the existing issues first. Yeah,
yeah.
before we move forward. Yeah, yeah. So maybe to do this right, we actually have to first identify the goals that were laid out at the start of this year. We have to also remember, like, the goals we laid out at the start of the year have been modified throughout the year. So what you can do is you take the top three goals and you explain what the goal was, why it was important, and then you dive into the results, and then from there you can start to prioritize which goals are worth keeping and which can be delayed.
Mm,
Yeah, and then because sometimes as a small business you have very limited resources, right? And you have limited time, you have limited manpower, but you need to work towards one specific goal. So this is where, like, prioritizing is a useful skill, because this is how you can focus on refocusing or rechanneling your efforts by looking at other strategies that can work towards your biggest goal. So, actually, Mr. Chick, if I may ask you, like, what were some of Zoom's designs goals at the start of 2020, and like what changed for you this year?
yeah. So at the start of the 2020, we like expected to for example, like we have planned a lot of regards to going on exhibitions, and invest on publicity, like going on exhibitions and some events abroad as well, especially in Singapore.
Yeah.
And those events got cancelled. Even in Cambodia we have some events that we plan to attend as well. So our 2020 is focused more on like like publicity, get to the stage, like the public stage, and get people know about Zooms.
Uh,
Uh, but suddenly, like every event has to be cancelled.
right.
So then, like it's very change, like almost like 180 degrees that
Yeah.
we have make our plan to focus on digital. So we
Yeah.
shift our budget, our focus on the digital, and like try to make sure that we can still achieve what we can do.
Mhm.
So this is the biggest change as well.
Right, right. That's the biggest change. Moving from instead of building what's it called brand visibility,
Yeah.
and moving to digital like the products itself. I understand that we launched the web application in the middle of the year this year.
We launched our web application since April.
Oh,
And yes, actually, like we just launched it in April by 2020. So we plan that we go to like event and then showcase our application and show to the small business owners know
mhm.
of how to use this platform. And we plan a lot of like big things regards to our applications. And
Right.
then it changed. So instead we have to because of COVID. So instead we have to change to doing as much as we can on digital platform, like save our budget to search engine optimizations, digital marketing, some like content marketing as well. So that's how we make the change.
Right, right.
Hmm.
Yeah. If I understand correctly, that's the web application is also the first like in the market in Cambodia, right?
Yes, if we focus on graphic design in Cambodia, since we launched our company in 2019, we the first one who introduced the monthly subscription that focus on graphic design service.
Mm,
We
yeah.
the first one coming in, and by 2020, we the first one to introduce the web applications, the task management system specifically for graphic design service into the market as well. But we are not the first one in like Southeast Asia or maybe all around the world, but we are the first one in Cambodia. So that's like, and COVID's coming, and it can be like a threat, also can be opportunity, because like when COVID coming, people start to work remote, work from distance, and introducing the application can be we can be a good change. And then people try, because like in 2019, like people they not really interested on outsource. I mean, in Cambodia, outsource the external partner that specifically focus on the graphic design by monthly basis. Mostly it's like like project basis or one-off project. So, and
Mm.
then by 2020, people start thinking that it actually can support a full like month for their marketing department when it coming to graphic design. So that's why I can say that COVID-19 can be a threat, but also can become the opportunity as well.
Right, right, right. Yeah, I think after what we have all discussed here, I think it's important that we analyze our past, our 2020 goals at the start, and then we see how we are right now and whether we are on track towards our biggest goal. And speaking about analyzing past, I think this brings us to the second point, the next point about reflecting and reflections. Yep. So, on the topic of reflections, I think for this slide is actually a no-brainer. It's very straightforward. Maybe like you can think of your business in terms of your core functions. Like, what is the primary thing that you do? Like, okay, so for example, like if you are a YouTuber, you create videos. So that's your core function. If you are a blogger, you create blog posts. And then in our case at Zoom's Design, it's quite straightforward. Our core function is making graphic design ads for clients. So while thinking about your core function, you can start thinking about the strategies that were the most effective. Or also, you can think about the most inefficient strategy that you have used this year. You can also start thinking about which were the projects that you did this year that had the most impact to the clients, and then you can list this down as your biggest accomplishment. And similarly, I feel that you can also think along the lines of your core function for the biggest disappointment you had this year. Yeah, so like you can think in terms of like the biggest opportunity that you missed. Like for example, if you were a YouTuber, no wait, if you were a YouTube vlogger, and then you didn't make a vlog about your stay-at-home experience during COVID or during your, I don't know, your swab test experience at the hospitals, then like maybe that would have been a big opportunity that you missed, because people want to understand your first-hand experience of what COVID-19 patients have to go through. So from there, you slowly proceed, and you ask about how your team deal with setbacks, and how you can learn from your mistakes about all these missed opportunities this year. But also, I think it's important for you to understand that just because you give up a certain opportunity, it does not mean that you are a failure. Like for example, if you use the COVID-19 example, the YouTuber example just now, like maybe the reason that you have not taken a vlog during that time was because you were really sick. I mean, if you really contracted COVID-19, I mean, you wanted to rest, right? So it really depends on how you frame your reflections, and just make sure that you're not so hard on yourself. Yeah. But on this note about reflections, maybe let's ask Mr. Che, what was your biggest accomplishment this year? Like maybe for Zoom's design, or maybe even for yourself.
For Zoom Designs, our biggest accomplishment this year is finally we can launch our web application that we mentioned earlier. So because like in 2019, our team tried so hard to develop it and to test the error, and checking if actually our system can actually work with the user very well. And when we put it on the markets, and our customer they can use our web applications, and we can also like engage with other customer beside Cambodian company like from Singapore, Malaysia as well. So that's one of the biggest achievements so far in 2020. And also we, like you have mentioned, that we reflect on our like, let's say like the thing that we do best, the strategy that we have planned but it doesn't work. But actually, like for COVID-19 coming up, we have to change our strategy a lot. And especially with Cambodian markets, we have changed almost like 180 degree as well. So like those kind of thing is very like a good thing that we actually can survive by 2020. And what we have done is kind of wonderful kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's very impressive, given that it's COVID-19, and a lot of things had to change, but you could still launch the web application, even though that was not the maybe biggest goal that you had for this year. Yeah. So I think this brings us to the next point about celebrating your wins. Yeah. So when it comes to celebrating your wins, sometimes when, like, as a business owner, we think about wins as in terms of profits or revenues. But sometimes it's not just about getting the profits, it's about creating a service or a sustainable business that can bring an impact to the community that you are serving. So I think, like, personally, to me, I think that small wins are very important because they create big momentum. Like when you see you have done well in certain aspects, you can tap on those strengths and further develop them. Like maybe I can share a story about how Mr. Chit, last time I was an insurance agent in Singapore. Yeah, I didn't do very well in sales. I just I cannot sell insurance policies to anyone, like, for the love of my life. Yeah, but if you were to look at just my sales commission, right, I think I would be in depression today. Instead, you can look at it from another angle. Like for me, I looked at how I could handle many rejections. I remember making 50 cold calls in 1 hour, and then two people, agreed to meet up with me. So from there, I look at how I can slowly improve on my calling strategies. So yeah, it's very important to celebrate small wins. Because these are the things that help you what do you call it, have the momentum to move forward. Yeah. So I think also it's important to credit your employees and colleagues. I think maybe for this, Mr. Chi, you have any stories about celebrating wins, or about thanking colleagues and employees?
You know what? Like tomorrow, we are going to celebrate our 2020.
Oh,
Yeah, I wish that you are here with us.
oh.
Go out of town and having a good time together.
Right.
Here, besides all the stressfulness
Yeah.
here, And I like what you said in the moment that even the small things, we have to celebrate it, to build the momentum,
Correct.
to energize, to inspire our team. Because, like, I bet all of the business by 2020, they will go through a lot of tough time and
Yeah.
everything change, the pressures and everything. And even like what they expect to achieve over the year also like very different from what they expected as well. So that's a very stressful moment, but at least what they have done 2020, it's still have something that actually we can pick up as a lesson.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, correct. I think also speaking of. Hello. 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 Hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, so bad. Sorry to the audience. It's like I think it's again technical problem.
Okay, this is a real technical
Real
problem.
one. The real one is not a joking one. It's guys. It's a real one.
Oh dear. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Mama is real.
okay. So where were we? Oh yeah, we were talking about success. Speaking of success, I think we can move to the next section about understanding your measure of success and understanding your metrics. Yep. So just now, as I mentioned, most businesses just look at the big picture, and they measure based on profits and money. For example, most people would tell you that they look at the total number of clients they get, or the amount of profit and revenue for the year, or they even look at the monthly revenue growth rate. Yeah, but sometimes, maybe not sometimes, but all the time, you have to go beyond money. You have to be very specific about your measure of success. Maybe if I may suggest, what you can do instead is to specify your metrics, and you see whether your measure of success it really reflects your effort and results. For instance, I've listed some over here: unique visitors on your social media channel, impressions on each marketing poster, the number of people who inquired through your emails, and total email subscriptions or your leads. So here's the point, like once you decide on your most important metrics, you can then evaluate the impact of your core functions like we mentioned earlier. Then after that, you can rank your work based on your metrics that you have chosen. So when you do it this way, right, you will learn that sometimes maybe your favorite work may not be the pieces with the biggest impact. Yeah. So, Mr. Chit, what kind of metrics do Zoom's design use? Like, is it just purely revenues, or do you look at specific metrics?
We look like a very specific metric actually, and one function combine link to others as well. Like marketing link to sales, marketing link to operations. So like everything has to be on the same page and connect from one to another. So we don't just look on the revenue and say okay we got it, but somehow there's something that actually we can look back and you see like how it's work. For example, like you have mentioned the engagement, the impressions,
Yeah.
the brand as the value of the brand, and the story of the customers. Like the operation. What I can say about like is it going smoothly? The certification of the customer, the users, So there's like a lot of specific thing that we look from edge to edge,
Yeah.
that to make sure that we can look as the whole pictures. And I myself, I still trying my best to make sure that I can be on top of the business, be on top of the operations, be on top of my marketing teams, my sales team. But somehow there's a flaws that we cannot go, or maybe somehow that we cannot look it at all. But just remember to try our best to make sure that not just looking to the specific part of the business, but try to make sure that you know the link between from one to another. And if one's going down, there will be effect to other as well. So just try to make sure that you understand the flaws, the link, so that you can sit on the top and look down, and you can see all how it works.
Right. So that means we have to see both the overall picture and as
Mm.
well as the specific parts. And we have to also understand like how the specific parts link to the bigger picture. Yeah, I think that's important. So that means for Zoom's design is in transition. Yeah, I guess that's good. But I guess it's important also to use the correct measures of success so that it helps your company. Speaking of helping your company, like helping like making better. This brings us to the next point about growing from setbacks. Right. So on this note, setbacks, I feel that setbacks are what make us. I'm sure that all of us have made mistakes in our lives, and these setbacks or like how we get through them are the things that enable us to grow forward. Yeah, for me, like mistakes have allowed me to grow, and that's what I need to succeed. So especially for this year, COVID-19 is definitely a game changer. It has really disrupted a lot of businesses. So for Zoom's design, right, how did COVID-19 disrupt like your business plans?
It's affected to a lot of our plan, but like it's turned out to be good as well, because like I mentioned earlier, like because of COVID-19, people start to think about outsource a third party. For example, like our service is graphic design service, so uh, like people, they think that they can hire their in-house designer, but because of COVID, they cannot work physically in office together. So they have to thinking if there's any strategies or any way that actually they can outsource to third party in the very affordable cost compared to their in-house graphic designer, and the result is still on point. So then it's the COVID-19 is not our problem anymore. It's become the opportunity that we can take it. So that's why I'm saying that somehow we can turn our threat to the opportunity, unless we know like what is our threat, and why is wrong, and the negative part of it. When we know in the clear way, so we actually can turn it over as well. So and as for some business, they try to blame COVID-19. We
Yeah.
all know that COVID-19 it's not good. It's very bad thing happened to us all over the world by this 2020. But don't try to be like drama all over again and again.
Yeah.
Like I have some scenario when I was sales rep, they come to me said, oh, because of COVID-19,
Mhm.
like I cannot do a better sell, this and that.
Yeah.
So what I'm was saying to them is like, try to think as COVID-19, because we all know it happened and we cannot change, we cannot go back in time and change it back, but it's happened. So
Yeah.
just try to learn with it and try to turn it over. If it right now is a negative part of your business, try to see the one thing go positive thing from it, and if you can make anything happen from this one. So don't try to be drama over again over the problem, the cost, but learn from the negative part and turn it to be positive. That could happen.
Yeah, I think that's a good habit, like staying optimistic and making the
Mm.
the best out of your circumstance. Because I guess for COVID-19, it's really a global pandemic and everyone is in it. So yeah, like what you said, we can't just keep using the same excuse and repeating them. Yeah, we have to do something to change because if we can't change the situation we have, we at least can change our mindset and as well as the effort that the strategies that we can take. Yeah. I thought it was very interesting that you saw the pandemic as an opportunity and then you turned it into another business opportunity. Yeah. Um, Also, I actually see that you are a speaker at many events at Zoom's Design. Not Zoom's Design. Since Zoom's Design is an emerging graphics design company in Cambodia, and you're like one of the youngest, not youngest, maybe young entrepreneurs. Maybe not youngest, but young. Yeah, entrepreneurs in Cambodia. So I think this kind of links to the next part about giving back and how do you like move forward from these setbacks and how do you give back to the community in Cambodia?
Over 2 years, we have worked with a lot of graphic design, very young, talented, enthusiast, creative, and very energized. So we work with a lot of interns as well who like they try to set their goal as the like is graphic design, their future skill, their future careers.
Mm.
So what we have given back to our members, it's it's a place for them to explore. It's a place for them to explore the possibility that if graphic design uh, is like their future careers, and they know how it works and they learn from it, and it's one kind of thing that we actually can provide back to the society. And
Yeah.
as well as we also have some partnership with organization as well, like social organization that can help a lot of social issue in Cambodia as well, like COVID pandemic. They affected a lot of poor people as well. So the organization, they go on and help them, and we just recently had a flood disaster about like 2 months ago.
Oh,
So they go on and helping those people in need. So we how can we give back is like using our strength, using our skills
yeah.
as a company, provide what we can, and that's how we give back to the society. And that's very important for a company. Even though you are small business startup,
Yeah.
you can give back as much as you can. It doesn't have that. It doesn't mean that you need to invest a lot of budget or money into it
Right.
to recognize that you are helping the society. But um, even though you are small, you do what you can. That's mean a lot to the society, and
Yeah.
everyone needs that.
Yeah. Oh my god, if only like all the business owners have this mindset like you, Mr. Chin, it will be a better place. Yeah, because
I try my best. Yeah.
yeah, it is very inspiring really because I do want to, create my own business in the future too, but I don't know how to go about it and I want to also, give back to the community while creating my own profitable business. So the point about what you said just now about using your strengths and using them to inspire others or like equip them with the skills, I think that's very very important because that's the reason why you set up your company, right? Like you have that strength to provide solutions and using those to inspire other people and equip them with the skills to create the same maybe what's it called opportunity in the future. That will give like a ripple effect and it really helps a lot of communities. I feel it's like
And
something I really really feel for. Yeah.
yes, and to add on, we also giving back to our users as well, to our customers. We over 2 years we work with a lot of customers, and some of them are very like small business.
Yeah.
They don't even have a big budget to hire in-house graphic designer.
Yeah.
And what we do is like provide them a affordable price to help them on like graphic design in need on their marketing.
Mm.
And what I'm happy about is that actually Zoom Design can help those small businesses to look good in
Mm.
their marketing, in their industry, in their market,
Yeah.
by because like graphic design, it doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah.
you know
That's
it doesn't
correct.
have to be expensive. you can make your brand, you can make your marketing, you can make your business look good. So
Mhm.
this is why we are so happy about it actually,
Yeah.
that we can help those small businesses to make themselves look good in the public,
Yep.
and they have enough budget to use our platform. And that's one of the biggest things that I have achieved so far when I'm running Zoom Design.
Wow, that's really amazing. I really really salute you, and yeah, it's really just my goal to do something like that in the future.
Thank you.
For real, yes. Yeah. I think also speaking of that, this brings us to the next point about appreciating your clients, because just now you mentioned about reaching out to small businesses, and actually all these small businesses are our clients, and we wouldn't be where we are today without our clients, no matter how big or small they are. And as you review your 2020 and wrap up your 2020, I feel that we should also thank them and show your appreciation to them. Always stay in contact with them and continue to provide great service for them. I think that's very important, because yeah, they are the ones who trust your products. They're the ones who help you build and grow, like right from the very start. So it's always important to show your appreciation to them. On this, I think Mr. Cheat has a shout out to some of our
Yeah,
partners.
I'm really excited. I can take this moment to say thank you to all our users, clients, partners who actually believe in Zoom Design and continue their service with us. That because of them we are here today, because of them.
Yeah.
So like you have said it, and why not appreciate our clients? We should not just only appreciate like once a year. We should appreciate almost every day actually. We should appreciate almost every day, as maybe we can,
Yeah.
um, because not because of them we are not here today. And they support us a lot, and provide us the place to show our service and how we can help them as well. So
Yeah.
that's a very good thing that you can do with your partners and your clients.
Mhm.
And I take this moment to in about for almost 2 years we have worked with 120 plus users.
Mhm.
And if we're talking about the brand, it's almost like 200 plus brands. And those clients are very amazing. There are a lot of bittersweet moment, and somehow we have some challenges altogether, and we try to cope with the situations and make sure that everyone happy. And but even those kind of thing happens, but we still try our best to support each other no matter what. And I
Mhm.
really thank you to those clients who actually believe in Zoom Design. Like in about 2 years we have had this many of the company, like they are small, medium, some are big corporation as well.
Yeah.
Like we have like Michelin to uh Michelin has been working with us for about like over a year now actually.
Wow.
And we have a lot with like digital posters, and as well as with the print flyer as well.
Yeah.
So they find us helpful with support on their graphic design needs.
Right.
And also with like Marugame Udong as well in Cambodia. They working with us for over a year now, almost 2 years. I
Wow.
see, almost 2 years. And it's a good experience working with them. Like
Mhm.
we help them a lot with digital, because they are like F&B business.
Yeah.
So they need a lot of attention. They need a lot of visual to showcase to their
Yeah.
consumers, to their customer, and be glad that they are be a part of it. And there are the Decathlon, there are MG, there are Jiffy, and like others brand. And I'm sorry if I cannot mention all of the brand that we have worked so far. But what I'm saying is that we are really I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I feel I'm speechless right now. So
Oh, you
that's
might
it.
be crying there. I won't even know if you're crying.
Like when, for example, like Michelin, like when first they become our customer, like they are
Yeah.
so new with our service, and we are so new with their company as well.
Yeah.
For the first 3 months, it's a lot of challenges. Like we we don't understand their brand very well. For
Yeah.
example, so we try our designer try to learn about their brand,
Right.
try to do whatever it takes to make sure that we can align with their brands, and to make sure their visuals, their poster, their flyers all look consistent, and to make sure that they put a lot of value into their brands.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of challenges with them, like even though they are like 2 years old customer, 1 years old customers, 6 years old customers, 3 years, I mean not 6 years old, 6 months old customer, or 3 months old customer, but there are a lot of like learning curve
Correct.
from in us and them as well. But in a way, we have reached the understanding on how we can help each other.
Right.
So that's the business. That's the work. Like it has to be bittersweet, challenge, pressure, and stress. But just to make sure that we can overcome it
Mhm.
and to make it better.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, especially since you said Zoom's design is only like 2 years old, right? We're having an anniversary soon, I think. Are we?
Yeah, let's keep that as a
Oh
secret.
yeah. I'm sorry. I just like let it off. Yeah.
Don't spoil the audience.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, having 200 brands in just 2 years, that's really amazing. And we are really, we have gotten to where we are today thanks to our clients and our partners. And yeah, it's very important if you are reviewing your year, to take a step back and see who were the ones that stuck by from the very start when you were, when you were nobody, when you knew nothing, and they were the ones who still stayed throughout. Yeah, do maintain close contact with them, and like what Mr. Chit said, continue to provide great service to them.
Yeah.
So on this note, maybe we'll go to the last point about making goals for the future. So as you finish planning for the year end review, you would have to set goals for the upcoming 2021. So when you're making goals, of course, you have to be specific. You have to set both short term and long term goals, and it's very important also to be very realistic. You choose, like what we mentioned just now, we choose our biggest goal and work towards it. Yeah, all the other smaller goals can come in later. We can maybe delay it, or not delay it, maybe like reserve it for the future when you have more capital, more resources, energy, and time. Yeah, but for especially for maybe next year, the first quarter, you can start to do small projects. Remember what we said about small wins are the ones that help you create momentum. So maybe for the first quarter of the year, you can start with the smaller projects, stuff that you know that you can is like your biggest strengths. Yeah, that's what you can do. And yeah, we can talk more about the goals for our next podcast maybe. So since we are running out of time, let's ask Mr. Chit, what is next for Zoom's design? Like what are our future plans for maybe 2021?
Before we going that, I would like to add on like
Oh
what you
yeah.
have mentioned earlier. Um, Make sure that your future goals, your future plans actually align with your, like missions and vision of the company.
Right.
Because that's why all the businesses has to have like vision and missions, because it all to make sure that we keep on track,
Yeah.
and don't plan a different goals that actually will go opposites your mission and visions.
Yeah.
So that's the key thing to take today as well. And talking about our next move of Zoom design.
Mhm.
So for 2021, we are
Yes.
really put a high hope on this. So the first one is about like growing our business to others countries. We have tapped into Singapore markets already,
Mhm.
some from Malaysia, but we hope that we can take like Vietnamese, with Vietnam and Thailand and other Southeast Asia country as well.
Mhm.
So this is our biggest steps for 2021. And number two is improve our applications, because even though we successfully launch our application, but there's still some error and flaws, because of course, like, it's human made. It's not like God magic, or something like that, but it's a human made. So there are things that we need to improve. There are things that we need to add, because like over a year that since we launched our application, there are a lot of feedback, good criticisms, good feedback from our users that we can actually take into consideration and make it change. So that's how we can improve and stay fresh, stay new, and stay updated. And the last part is, I hope it happened, because I try to make it happen in 2020, but because of COVID, we have to postpone this actual actual goals. We want to build the training centers, let's say a branch office of Zoom Design in Battambang province, to have the underprivileged youth to to learn about soft skill or hard skill. And graphic design, it's one skills that need creative talent. And like those youth who live under privilege, they have talents. We don't know what kind of talent. We have to like unleash it, unleash their potential to see what they can do. So by 2021, we plan to open a branch office. We start from small first, invite all of those youngsters who want to learn about graphic design, and they join us. And we have trainer from Phnom Penh to go there and help them to like learn about graphic design skill, the basic one, and from the basics to intermediate to advanced, so they actually can learn all those kind of things. And then they can get a decent job of graphic designer to support themselves, to support their family. So we hope that we can make it happen by 2021. There will be no more COVID 2021, I guess.
Hopefully.
So finger crossed, make it happen.
Yes, I'm so excited for what's in store for Zoom's design for the following. No, not for the following year. For the next year, 2021, in just 2 days. Yeah, and I'm expecting maybe big plans from you. So yeah, that's really nice. After we reviewed our 2020 and wrapped up our 2020 journey. So, Mr. Che, do you have any last words for anyone who's listening to our podcast right now?
I just want to say Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And like, don't stress over everything. Just try to relax and enjoy the last day of the year. And like, and then you can be like focus on your 2021. And that's something. So just Happy New Year. Stay relaxed, stay fresh, and be ready for the next year.
Right. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Chit. And thank you so much for everyone here who's tuned in to our podcast. And we hope you enjoyed it. Do keep up with our social media channels for more free content like this. Our first episode of 2021 will go live next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Cambodia time. If you need our help to create graphic design ads, just hit us up and we will help you. Thank you once again, and this is your host, Aisha and Kuntak Shit. Thank you and Happy New Year. Bye.